everybody, and welcome to Dynamic GT League's non-amused championship for the title decider, race 9 of 9 from Fuji. And here we have a look at the current standings as Ray joins us on commentary. Ray, you'll notice that Jason's got a 17-point lead, so as long as he finishes the race, I think he might be champion.
I don't know. I'm not got enough fingers to
count that many. Well, that's true, because if you had 17 fingers, that would be quite a worry. Okay, so yeah, basically the championship situation is Jason leads by 17 points. If he scores any points today, wins basically. It needs Demon R to win and Jason to score 0. Now, unfortunately, we do have a low number of drivers this week, which is a bit of a shame because we've got SRI back and we've got Conrad back this week. But then Formula Gary, Twilight, Rich Blues, Jimmy have all decided they don't want to go to Fuji. Jason, though, starting off in pole position, Ray.
Yeah, so he is ahead of Demon R in second, and then there's Conrad came in and fired it on for place. Never seen him last week, he had a wee break. Fourth is SGP, his orange car, and then we've got Artpal 5th, and then SRI with Purple Burglar Alarm 6th, and then 7 Bob, and thank God they were on the tarmac.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, you see, we may not have been drinking. Well, I've been drinking. Ray may not have been drinking, but we're at 4 lights, 5 lights, and away they go! And it looked like a little bit of a slow start for SGP and Conrad. Demon R a little wobbly, but he's got a bit of a run on Jason down towards turn 1. Now, as you mentioned, we have got low numbers tonight, which is a shame. But we already know that Demon R's going to try and go for the lead. But yeah, we already know, Ray, it ain't going to be boring, is it? Even with 7, it ain't going to be boring.
No.
You know, this is almost... there was something I was going to say there, but I better not. I better get the information correct. Go on, you commentate, go on.
Your information correct on what? That's all I know. So Jason's got a wee bit of a gap to Demon R. Oh, did Jason lose or was it just parking it halfway? Conrad had a big slide out of turn, is that 4 or 5?
I don't know.
1, 2, 3, 4.
5.
As we come down. Hi, pal.
Yeah, bit wide.
And as Demon R's is he going to attack Jason into here, or is he going to let Jason go defensive?
He's going for the position through the final sector. They go then side by side. I would expect these two to race nice and clean around here, but you go side by side through this final sector, you end up off the racing line. It's very, very slippy, and the cars behind catch you up very, very quickly. Now, what I was going to say about there is only 7 cars, and this is the Not Amused Championship, but it did remind me that I got assaulted by 6 dwarfs last night. Not happy.
All right.
Yeah, he wasn't involved.
I've heard that before.
I think I've told it before.
It's Demon R's tuck in behind Jason, and now is he going to make a move into turn 1? It looks like Jason parked it halfway on the road, so just letting Demon R make up his mind what side he wants to go, but Demon R needs to watch. Here comes Conrad down the inside, but he'll be on the outside for this corner, but Demon R will have a tighter line. Let's see how he gets on.
Yep, Connor may be able to do a bit of a sword. Demon R very sideways. I'm going to say Connor may be able to do a switchback, didn't need to. Demon R sliding out of the way. And I'm going to be careful through the long right-hander. Definitely not flat out or anywhere near it in these cars. They're now side by side still, with SRI trying to give Conrad a bit of a helping hand. Hasn't quite helped as much as Connor might like. Demon R running a little bit wide.
Yeah, that was a little bit wide there for Demon R. But we see, is Demon R going to go defensive, or is he just going to take the racing line into this corner? We've seen the defense. Oh, Conrad!
You don't have to do the little chicane this time, Connor. With that's opened up a little bit of a gap now between second and SRO's in third. I thought Jason had ran away a little bit. He did open the gap up, but the gap has come down quite a lot. Regarding the boost, well, let's see. With 7 on track, Ray, what do you reckon? 4th place gets no boost? Or would
I think
4th
it's
place
3rd
gets
place.
Yeah, maybe.
I'll say as we switch to the leaders here, does Demonard get a run, or do you think he'll catch him by the end of the pit straight? I don't think he will.
Nah, I don't think he's going to be close enough to attack. Art Powell's got a move going on SRI in the background. Jason is sort of hovering defensive, isn't he? He's not sort of going fully defensive, and he's not sticking to the races in line. Art Powell makes the move on SRI through turn 1. I'm wondering, as well, whether the exit curb has been changed at turn 1, We don't seem to have been seeing, especially in practice, many people dipping a wheel out wide on the exit of turn 1 and spinning, or do you think it's just that drivers are more used to it and don't go out there now?
I don't know, because myself ventured out there maybe a couple of times, but I never really felt the need of the car going to spin out on me, so it might just be I was subconscious of it and applied the throttle a wee bit gentler, or maybe there might be some change. I don't know. We'll see if MD loses it in this race.
Yeah, well, time will tell. Now, as this battle continues on, so SRI's in 3rd at the moment, so if 4th place is able to sort of fairly easily catch up to SRI when SRI isn't making a mistake, then we'll know that 4th is getting, or has the potential of getting boost. Demonor and Jason, very different lines on the pack cam through the final corner on this occasion. Now, we might see different lines, Ray. I mean, we always do around the final corner here, especially when there's a gaggle of cars. But when there's 2 out in front, why do you reckon that we might see different lines going through the final corner?
Well, one will be maybe a wee bit defensive, the other one on the offense. So once that concertina effect comes up in the last few corners, Jason may feel the need to defend, where Demonar can pick his line and try and get the one that's going to give the most
speed down the straight.
More straight lines, speed down the straight.
I mean, that's the thing with the pack here. I mean, I'd expect SRI in the final corner to go defensive, and everybody in the pack to take that tight line. Look at the pack cam. Yeah, so Jason's trying to. That's around the long right-hander, but he's definitely looking in his mirrors, and Demonar is sort of definitely making him look in his mirrors. I mean, Demonar's got the freedom of not having to worry about what anyone else behind them is doing, whereas SRI is getting to the point now where he's probably going to have to start going defensive. Jason is. So, I mean, does he need to go defensive down here? Well, he's going it.
The thing is, but we've seen the last time Demonar went for a move down here with Jason going defensive, because he was that tight, it sent him wider on the exit, and Demonar was able to have a scoot through, is the terminology I'll use for that.
Yep.
And I don't know if he got the move done or what, or he was within a few corners, but as we see, kind of near enough the same lines there. Oh, that Paul's gone.
There's no chicane there.
No.
I don't know if there were contacts, but yeah, I mean, we had many different lines. Jason going definitely defensive here. Demonar pulling out, going into the racing line. Now, there was something, I mean, I wonder if Demonar's going to go for a sort of switch back here, or if he's going to try and go around the outside. Where's Jason? Jason's just around the outside he's going to go. Now, something that sort of got me thinking there is, obviously, in the Dynamic GT League, our sort of rules of racing is perhaps a bit different to many other forms of motorsport, in terms of things like we say there is no such thing as it's my corner or I had the racing line, because one of the things that we want all the DGT drivers to do is to give each other space at all times. But with that rate, I mean, Demon R and Jason are having a cracking little battle here, but it does kind of change how a driver may approach certain corners. They're still side by side here. I mean, let's see if they go. Okay, so if they're side by side up to this corner, Jason would expect to have space on the outside on the exit of the corner, but he's tucked back in. Demon R can then use the road. So where Jason might now try and position his car could be not compromised, but could be different. So, for example, down at turn 1, and this is a little bit of a long explanation, but down at turn 1, if they're side by side, whichever car is on the inside is going to try and keep a tighter line, aren't they? To leave space on the outside for the other car. But if the car on the outside tries to do a switchback, they may find themselves switching back into a space that isn't there.
Yeah, especially if the car on the inside parks it in the apex, or if another driver is close by and sticks his nose in that space before he or she can get the switchback. I know there's no she drivers, but just in case, you know.
Yeah, that is true. But what you say is absolutely right.
There's SRI out there. Let's see how he gets on, getting back on the track. Well, we won't.
I won't see it. No, I think SGP.
Oh, there he's there.
I think SGP may have had a bit of an helping hand with SRI going out there. But yeah, I mean, what you're saying is right. Is what I mean. The amount of times we see people go for a switchback, but somebody else has snuck into the gap, normally fairly as well. But okay, so here, SRI may be looking for a switchback, but SGP could potentially stick his nose in there. It's just one of those things that happens when you've got a number of cars around you as the racing goes on. Now, we're 6 laps in to this 24-lap race here. No tyre wear or fuel wear on these cars at the moment for this final race of the championship. But I can tell you that the tyre wear and fuel has been confirmed for the next championship. But we're not going to tell you about that. Yeah, it's Artpal making the move on SRI, or at least trying to, because now he's going to be on the outside. He may try a switch back. I thought SGP may slip up the inside, but he's opted not to, as we have a look at Demon R and Jason into the final corner.
Yeah, Jason a wee bit closer to Demon R there. As we see, SRI and Bob still fighting, but Artpals gave SGP a bit of a bump, but it didn't work because SGP's now without slipstream, so it's going to let Artpal take a slipstream from SRI. Yep. Oh, so we might have a 4-way bomb up coming up.
That sounds 5-way actually. This definitely sounds a bit wrong, but Bob up the inside of Conrad, so they can all get their braking done nicely. Which they're so Conrad going for the switchback, but they 2 cars sneaking up the inside. You evil little scoundrels.
Yeah, now who's gonna Bob's got watches on the tight line, but I think he hit the brakes just knowing that he didn't want to drift out wide and get a wee love tap from Conrad there.
Absolutely.
Conrad a wee bit out wide and then cuts it in here, but there's SGP in his way. Yeah, he's like, oh, there comes Bob.
Switch back. He's getting a wee. It didn't work.
Yeah, he's getting past post to pillar. As we see down here, is SGP going to go defensive? Is he just going to leave that door open? Looks like Conrad's going for the move. He is, but SRI's off track.
That's going to hurt him through the final sector. But yeah, Conrad, you're right, getting passed around, per to post. Passed around more than a teenager at a Ghislaine Maxwell party.
Jesus.
That maybe too soon, but considering I made that up, I thought it was quite funny. Obviously, don't mean any offence to anybody. It's a joke. Okay, 5 battling away once again. I think you're right. 3rd, definitely not getting the benefit of boost, are they? But should mention as well that as these guys are now sort of nose to tail, obviously they're not going to all benefit from boost, are they? Because Connor's not getting boost right up behind SRI, which means Artpal as he gets closer to Conrad, won't get the boost, and so on and so on. Now, if one of them comes from much further back, maybe they could have the benefit of a run of boost. I mean, maybe that's a tactic one of the drivers could use, you know, down that main straight, back off a bit in the final sector, and try and maximise the boost effect down the straight.
Yeah, they could do that. But they'd need to time it pretty well, especially if it's the last lap.
Absolutely.
Imagine that backing off and messing it up.
Yeah. Okay, side by side.
Ooh,
just about go. Bob go for the switch back.
Oh,
squeezy. Lemon peasy. Bobbit. Oh no. Oh dear. Oh dear.
I think he had no road to go into. That pal was he was like pushing as if it was in my corner. He was pushing SJP off at one side, and then the next corner he's pushing Bob off. But quite clearly through the comms on that night, we knew that pal didn't even know he'd done it.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's the thing, you're trying to give space. One's get blindsided on the other. Now, someone that might be trying to do a bit of blindsiding is Jason. We talked a week or two ago about how he's been different racing this championship and how that may throw some benefits. What I've been noticing when these two have been on the pack cam is that when Jason is behind Demonari, he's definitely using very different lines through the corners. Could just be to get Demonari looking in his mirrors, or it could just be that Jason wanting to use a different line. Oh, busy on the pack cam. Everybody gets it slowed down nicely though. Just about, yep, that they do. But yeah, so for anyone that's interested, keep an eye on that pack cam, that battle between sort of Demonari and Jason and the different lines they might use. So as they're going into the long right-hander, Jason's closing in, but then look, he's running that little bit wider mid-corner, and the gap opens up, and then he's trying to close the gap up at the end. And then we've got Art Pal here doing that sort of similar wider line and losing out to SGP.
Yep, but he's still got the inside line here as long he doesn't run SGP off the road again.
Yeah.
We should see this battle battle continue down to this sharp right hand corner coming up. I was just making sure I got that right, the right way round, and it wasn't the other right.
Yeah, you know.
Oh, Conrad, a wee tap on SRI. SRI a wee bit slower through that corner.
Yep. They make the move. SR Conrad trying, but he's going to be on the outside here. I'm keeping an eye on that pack cam as well as the leaders. Yeah, I mean, it's very close into the final corner. I mean, interestingly, I don't think Demonari is reacting too much, or a bit of a wobble. Reacting too much to Jason being close, apart from when Jason is really close, and Jason is really close.
Yeah, and we can see Conrad in SRI and pack cam as well. Conrad gets somebody tucked in behind him. We can't see who it is.
But if you're in Conrad's position, would he benefit from bump drafting SRI?
Up to a certain point.
Jason going for it. Sorry to cut you off. Jason going for it down into turn one. It's the first sort of real basher move we've seen from the leading two down into turn one. And let's see, can he pull away? He's not fully defended his SRI, nearly gets a little bit wide. Jason's got the tighter line. What is brilliant to see here is that whichever is the car behind, they definitely seem to be trying to maximise the width of the track, aren't they?
Yeah. Oh, Demonara nearly closed in the backside. That made him go away. They had to put on anchors that give the car a bit understeer. And Conrad's sideways. Arpal and Bob having a battle. Conrad's facing the other way.
You can't park there, mate. Bloody hell. Oh, that's unfortunate for Connor. I didn't expect to see him suddenly parked up there like that. It was definitely not what I thought I would see. Oh, Bob!
I think that was a wee bit naughty for Arpal. I don't think he gave Bob the room. It's like he's given him the position back.
You're the leading two are battling. Jason going defensive. Demon R using all of the road. You have to be careful you don't get sucked off there. But I mean, that line, it does give you, it's kind of slow around the corner, but gives you a better top end speed down the straight. It's kind of starting a lap with that line is good. Finishing a lap with that line, not so good. Jason going fully defensive here. I thought Demon R might hold him to the tight line.
Yeah, they're giving each other plenty of room. Demon R going to go for the switchback here.
Or is he going to try and go around the outside? Oh, see, this is kind of what I was on about.
Might have been a wee bit too much to ask for going round the outside, especially when you've got that extra left, right-hand turn there, just kink.
Yep. But also, as I was saying, if you know that the driver on the inside is going to be giving you space on the exit, then you may want to hang around the outside rather than trying to do a switchback. We've got 3 wide on the pack cam just ahead of Conrad as Demon R and Jason battling it out once again.
Yeah, I thought Conrad was going to do 3 overtakes. He's done 2 so far. Is he going to get a 3rd one? Oh, SGP's coming in. Where's Conrad gone? He was there. He might be still there. Oh yeah, he is. He's just still there. I'll be like, Jesus. SRI's like, holy crap.
Aye. Don't look in your mirrors. Okay, so Demon R and Jason ever so close once again. And look, this is what I'm on about using all of the road when you're behind. It can give you many more options. So go wide here. Try and go all the way around the outside, or you're going to tuck it back in early. Oh, he's going well wide. Oh, wobbly. You're going to have to back out of that one.
Yeah, I think Demon R just get a wee bit too much on the curb and the exit there.
Absolutely.
Probably try put the power down that wee bit earlier that gave him that bit of wobble, as we see 2 by 2. It's all Noah's Ark.
Aye.
Who's the monkeys? What ones are the monkeys?
Hey, we're the monkeys. And we'll keep.
He's not here anymore.
Well,
don't know what's happened to him. SRI didn't make the apex.
No, SGP and Conrad side by side still. Artpal and Bob still side by side. Demon R and Jason still nose to tail. Now, regarding the championship, this doesn't help Demon R in any way, shape or form. Demon R needs to win and Jason needs to not finish. And at the moment, though, Jason... Oh, SRI's at a moment! He's plummeting down the order. Jason's gone wide. Demon R makes the move. Does he? Yes, just ahead. There's Conrad now in 3rd.
Halfway through this race already.
Aye, that we are. So Connor now in 3rd place. He's going to be the one hunted. Demon R's made the move on Jason. So now it's Jason's. Oh, Demon R's a little bit wide. I mean, interesting. These 5 battling away a little bit. It has opened up the gap. Oh, SGP! Oh, can't believe it's nailed Bob like that. Oh, dear.
Yeah, and you're just seeing Artpal's car getting used as a leveler.
It's like them things you get at a bowling alley to stop you going off to the sides. The bumpers.
Oh, the bumpers,
yeah.
The barrier. The kiddie bumpers.
Yeah.
That sounds bad.
That sounds very wrong. Yes. It doesn't matter which way that sounds. The kiddie bumpers, the kiddie savers, the kiddie wobblers. Yeah.
Oh, Bob, he's not getting his slipstream. Is Conrad going to share it? Is his Artpal gets a helping hand from SRI? Artpal looked like a wee bit late on the brakes. The Vol nearly went wide.
Oh, wow.
Conrad's went wide. Artpal's went wide. SRI nearly went wide. Bob saved it. So Conrad under attack here. Did I say Bob went wide and I meant to say somebody else? Oh, Conrad! Big that back end is squeezing out again.
I can't tell.
And he's
wide. Yeah.
Yeah, but he's tucking it back in for this bit.
Does he tuck it back in and call Miss Shirley?
Oh, but he's lost it. He's kind of near enough cutting the corner there.
Oh dear.
As Bob leading this pack now. Look at the gap the leaders have got, so they don't need to worry about anybody else.
Absolutely
other
not.
than the pair of them.
Yep. Now, I mean, the Demon R could, I suppose, try backing Jason into the pack, but it doesn't really help him because even if Jason finishes 7th, he wins the championship. Now, the pack cam is on board with Jason at the moment, following Demon R, and I can tell you that the bowling alley things, they are called bumpers. They're not called the kiddie bumpers. They're just called bumpers.
All right. Different lines through there. SRO had a wider line. SGP took a wee bit of a tighter line, so did Artpal. And that didn't benefit SRI going any wider. As we come down into the braking zone, are they going to get stopped in time?
I hope
As we've
so.
seen last lap, they didn't stop in time.
Yeah, we don't want to be seeing any road rage. Oh, SRR for SRR, goodie. So we don't want to be seeing any road rage down here. Bob's gone wide. Oh dear. Oh dear.
Did SRI give him a helping hand, or did he go wide on his own?
SGP.
SGP not. Yeah, he never made that apex, did he?
No. I mean, the crazy thing about these cars around this track is that the more you try, or the harder you try to go fast around here, the slower you'll actually go. This is, especially in these cars, it's such a rhythm track. And it's one of the reasons why I think Jason is so quick around here, is because he is smooth and he keeps a consistent sort of driving style. Obviously, it helps when you only have to focus on one car ahead of you and not 4 cars behind you with boost and a desire to overtake. There's actually been a major defensive.
Yeah, I was going to say something, but my lines went blank. Old age kicking in. Oh, SJP was all over that curb. I'm surprised if he doesn't get a penalty. It's near enough cut the corner from the camera angle that we see. What was I going to say? Yeah, was Jason going to have a new song to play? Smooth operator.
Yeah, he could do, yeah.
Apple tried to squeeze. But SGP was there now. We're going 4 wides. No, not yet.
Quite. Bob was giving Connor a bump draft. Can he now get it slowed down? Yes, he can. Conrad gets it slowed down, holds that inside. Artpal trying a bit of a switch back. Bob covers that off. SRI hung out to dry. Conrad gets the move done. Conrad's been helped out a little bit by Bob there with a bump draft down the straight. Just needs to see if he can get through these.
Sometimes it'll benefit you, sometimes it might hinder you. It just depends where you get that bum draft from. Bob's out wide. Something like Connor's out wide. We've seen a puff of dust. So he must have went to the edge of the track and then cut it back in.
It's Puff the Magic Dragon lives in the shoe. Oh, Demon Art's just ran a bit wide. Now, see, Bob should get Puff the Magic Dragon. He should get that reference.
But I think most people would.
Maybe. Demon R a little wide. Jason having a little look up the inside. I don't think Demon R will mind that though, because of being on the inside for this next corner. So will Jason try and switch back? I don't think it'll work here, because if you're the lead car, you can just hold your speed on the apex and stop a switchback. But Jason has now got to run down towards turn 1. This is where he can channel his inner Kevin Magnussen and say, let's talk about Swedish meatballs.
He'll be saying, I am the Swedish legend. I wonder if he drives a Volvo.
He does, I think. So up the inside he goes. I think he was a Mercedes at one point, but I think he may also have a Volvo. Or is it Saab?
Conrad still leading this pack at the minute.
There he is.
As we can see in the pack cam, but we're...
You know what I would really like is for an overhead camera angle of this double right-hand corner. Oh, Demon R got very close. This long right-hand corner of the cars in the pack, because on the previous lap there was definitely 5 different lines being used through the long right-hander, as we can see on the pack there again. So being able to see like an over-the-top overlay would be absolutely brilliant at that.
Connor's just stretched his legs a wee bit from the pack there, so as we watch Demon R behind Jason getting a wee bit on the dirty part of the grass there, just seen a poof.
A dirty part of the grass? Is there a clean part, a green part? I'll get the word right. Is there? I sound like a vascular rabbit.
Well, the mucky, you know when it gets mucky with cars going over
the
it.
The thing is, there is clean grass. It's called AstroTurf.
I don't know if it's AstroTurf here or grass.
Well, that bit's Astro, that bit's grass. Okay, Jason, go in difference.
Well, that's Bob, he'll know.
That is true. One you can smoke, the other one burns you. Okay, so Demon R has got a bit of a run here on. The track's starting to look a little bit greasy, Ray. Sound like that's a new nickname for you. It's not a new nickname for you. You're not now going to be called Greasy Ray, but the track is looking greasy. Don't you agree?
Yeah, it looked as if there was puddles on the start-finish straight there.
Yeah.
But it's not, it's just when the track starts getting cold and the oils start to rise, yeah.
Into Jason.
I can't remember the terminology for it. I done it when I get told it when I was doing my CBT years ago.
Jason seems to have an interesting line through the long right-hander, sort of fast in, deep mid, and a little slower on the exit. So now Demon R a little bit of a run, and maybe get a Jason. He may have got a little bit wide there. He may be all right. It's very deceptive there.
Demon R wriggling about.
Yeah, he's definitely looking a little greasy. But yeah, I mean, the thing is, Fuji, it's one of those locations where it can rain, and when it does rain, it can rain heavily. It's not going to rain here for us today. I suppose something we may have to talk about at some point is whether the DGT experience is going to include weather at some point. We can get onto that in a little while. As SRI once again back in third place as they head into the final corners. Look at that, 4 different lines through the final corner. Corner a little sideways, and here's those greasy patches once again. I mean, it does look a little overcast, although in the clouds over there it's not too bad, but sort of on the track here it's looking a little bit dull. Jason's going for it! Oh, the Swedish dive bomb!
Yeah, I think he was a wee bit too late on that. I think he's let Demon R back through and said, sorry. Sorry. Is it too late to say sorry?
Yeah. Okay, so on the pack cam, we still got it was Conrad now, side by side with SR. I've got to say, right, we always have pack battles in the DGT League. It's been a while since we've had a lead battle that has lasted every single lap like we're having with Demon R and Jason at the moment. I know we're not got the cameras just sat on it, but that's because majority of that battle it's sort of jab, 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 whereas these guys are haymakers. Or Jason!
I was too busy watching the normal, the big screen. It was SGP on grass there, the muck, kicking up some muck onto the track. Now, does that come into effect in the game? Like, you see it in the graphics if somebody hits the grass and it comes onto the track. Does the game recognise that and then makes that a wee bit more slippery, or do you think that it's not advanced in that way?
You know what? I reckon yes, and I'll mention why in a moment, because Jason has got a run on Demon R here. Demon R going defensive. I wonder if that's a reaction to Jason trying the move on the previous lap. I'm actually wondering, we wouldn't normally see Jason go for a bit of a late break. I wonder whether Jason was just testing the water for, pal, you gotta move sideways when there's a bloody car there. Sound like someone from Dad's Army there.
No, he's not. Art Pal's not got that side what's the word?
Profiterole.
No, where at the minute he's been a wee bit clumsy with the cars next to him. Which is he'll be fucking messaging the page.
Well, Bob and SGP got a little bit bumpy, but they live to fight another D. Art Pal trying to do a switch back here, Art Pal, through this right-hand kink. He's too busy looking around the outside, though, isn't he?
Yeah, he's too busy following SGP. Puff of smoke there. Was there contact somewhere?
Oh, maybe just a hammering of the brake.
Or Bob opened his window.
Could have been actually. Yeah.
I can't see. He opened the window.
Yeah.
See there, the graphic of the grass coming off of one of the cars.
Well, I mean, mentioning about that. Okay, two things I want to catch up on. One, I think Jason at turn 1 was testing the waters of how late he could try and brake and fairly make a move at turn 1. So Demon R, so Demon R defending it has effectively stopped Jason trying to learn the next point he can try braking from. He may be doing it now while he's a bit further back. SGP's got to run on SRI. As for the effects of dirt on the track, I do think yes. And the reason being, we have done lots and lots of laps around a particular track as SGP, SRI, side by side, Art Pal and Bob slowing it down. SRI covers SGP off. Demon R's got a bit of a gap to Jason now. DGTC side. The corner we call broke back, right?
Yep.
You got the kink and then you've got the broke back corner. On the left hand side is red gravel. And what you'll notice as you do a race around that or laps around that road.
Bob, they all went wide there. SRI going defensive on SGP there, try to stop him from getting the switch back there, but he's got to be careful because could have left that door open coming down to these corners. Where did SGP go?
Jason has caught up to the back of Demon R on the pack cam. Keep an eye on that, folks. So yeah, at DGTC side, where we've got red painted area and red gravel, as the race goes on, the racing line starts taking a red colour. From where cars have been dipping wheels on the red painted area in the gravel and then coming back onto the road. And it's one of those things that you probably never notice it. Bob up the inside of SRI. Bob and Art Pal up the inside of SRI nearly. But now that it's been mentioned to you, next time you're racing folks around Seaside or any other track that's got corners a bit like that, painted gravel, have a look, see if the tarmac changes colour through a race.
We've got 4 laps to go, and I could see Jason just a wee bit not as strong in that end sector, the end corners at the minute, so maybe is he trying different lines to see how he gets on as we got SRI and Bob's side by side as we come into this. I've lost where we are on track.
I mean, to be fair, some of the camera angles that aren't the greatest. It's very easy to not know where you are when you're looking at it from a commentator's perspective. Connor, I think he just dipped a wheel a little bit. We've got 3 wide. To be honest, I'd rather. Bob's had a bit of an off and then gets collected. Jason definitely is. Look at Jason through this final sector on the pack cam. He's definitely using different lines, look. But it's closing the gap up into the corner. Oh, busy on the main screen, and then opening the gap on the exit of the corners. So he's gaining on entry, losing on exit. SRI's taking the curb home. 4 wide they were there on the pack cam. That is now Artpal and Bob. I think a little bit of understeer through there. Artpal's around with a little helping hand from the orange bomber. That's GP.
But he's not winning, he's still going, sorry. Jason is, I don't think he's got a run, but Damon R's like, not today, thank you very much. Oh, Jason, I thought Jason was going to just let off the brakes and try and tuck it in there, but he was like, not just yet.
Well, interesting. I'm wondering whether Demon Art's taken on board what we were saying the other week. He is very aware that Jason is behind him, isn't he? He's not. Yeah. I mean, we saw Jason rob or mug Demon R a couple of races ago at Autopolis. And yeah, I don't think Demon R is in that situation here. As Bob having a look at SRI, can't do anything about it. SGP going for a switchback, which will turn into a double switchback here, will it? Oh, it's brave to try around the outside, because if Bob understeers, off you'll go. Oh, now he's got the inside. It's a nice bit of a move there. Oh, SGP though with a little bit of understeer on the pack cam. We're on board with Jason. And again, we'll see a slightly different lines through the final corners.
Yep, and there's still battling this pack. This is giving Conrad a wee bit of breathing space at the minute. Oh, Bob!
Oh, Bobby! Oh, I don't know if he was tagged, but he was definitely, I think he might have been. Yeah, SGP's waiting. I think SGP has tagged the back of him. So Demon R and Jason.
Oh, waiting as well.
No, Artpal's still trying to catch up from when he got spun. Although, to be fair, I think he was already sideways when the contact happened. Okay, the gap has opened up between Demon R and Jason on this lap.
The last 3 laps have been in the 49s. So they're kind of low 50s to low high 40.
Well, Demon R's last 3 laps were 49.1s.
For the pack, Conrad 150, 150, SRI 150, 150, Artpal 143. Yeah, that must have been way boost.
I was going to say, if he's got that pace, he should be winning. But yeah, bit of the boost. It's nice when you get a bit of boost. Okay, so Connor dipping a wheel. I mean, Connor's trying to use all the road and a bit more, which, I mean, I can fully understand it, but you have to be so careful. Look at the pack cam now. Demon R's broken away from Jason, but to be fair, Jason doesn't need to do anything crazy here. He's still on course for winning the championship. All he needs to do is finish the race.
3 different lines through that corner with these 3 here. Let's see, as we go to the pack cam, go to the leaders again. He's caught up quite a bit now. It just might be the concertina effect to the corners at the moment, but it looks.
Yeah, see, looking on the
look, he's tighter than Demon R.
Yeah. Demon R's wide. He's not.
So is Jason.
Yeah, I think Demon R I think he may have had to get out of it a little bit, considering what the gap was like going into that corner. There's less of a gap now. But yeah, so Demon R's last 3 laps were 4 laps was a 49.2 and 49.1s. What's this? A 49.7. So
a 48.9
from Jason. So just as Demon R does a slow lap, Jason does a quick one. Now he's going for it into turn 1. Now we'll see a switchback attempt, and I reckon Jason's got deep. He's got super deep. Oh, dear. Oh, jeez. Jason's definitely
Artpal on SRI into turn 1. Is SRI going to go for a switchback, or is he not? Let's see what happens here. Where's Artpal? Still in that corner. Oh, Conrad's coming in the gap.
Jason up the inside through the long right-hander. He's been wide and deep in the middle of that corner every lap of the race, apart from this one. Oh, but now he's deep. Go on.
Our pal got SRI, and that pal go might give Conrad a chance to get into third place. As the leaders side by side coming through here.
Oh, a little door banging.
This Demon R, he's not really forcing Jason. Really defensive. Jason, that was a bit of a part there.
Now Jason,
I think that was a bit of
line into this corner. Okay, we're going to see very different lines here. Jason's going to hold this tight. Yeah, Demon R going well wide. We'll tuck it back in. Oh, but I think there may have been a little bit of contact there.
Where's Demon R gone?
Yeah, where has he gone?
Where's Demon R?
Oh, Jason, what you done to him?
Oh, there he's Did he miss a gear or something? SRI looking. Nearly clipped it back a Conrad there.
Jason's gonna take the win and the championship at a Demon R.
Oh, the free abreast coming round that corner. That pal's going to take third place. SRI's trying to get Conrad. The SGP's trying to get Conrad. Here comes Bob. Bob punted him forward.
Bob got. Oh, what a finish. What a finish.
Bob got SRI and SGP.
Did he? What a sneak.
Yeah, let me go back. Replay that. Let me see. I'm sure he did.
I wouldn't be surprised. Let's see.
I know you'll confirm it, but I just want to make sure my eyes weren't deceiving me.
I'm just having a look back myself.
Any time on the screen that says Conrad, Bob, SRI, and SGP.
You know what? I think he did. I think he might have done. You know. Well, obviously, we'll
it was too close, and it never recognised who was who, and it needed time to settle it.
Yeah. Wow. Well, what a. Sorry, I've just seen a weird post on Facebook. What a race. What a race. What an end to the championship. I think what happened towards the end there was Jason with a beautiful bit of SGP style parking. And Demon R, having tried the wide entry for a bit of a switchback, tagging the back of Jason and getting sideways. And Jason runs away to take the victory. But what a race between those two. Absolutely fantastic. And if anyone does want to go and watch just that battle, then watch this footage again. And what you don't see on the main screen of them, you'll see on the back cam.
Yep. But yeah, that was a great battle for the leaders. Like, when was the last time we've seen that for a full race?
It's been a while, definitely.
I can't fucking remember, to be honest with you. Usually like one or two drive away.
You know what? The last time I saw a battle for the lead like that was in this championship before the boost setting got changed. Because it was everybody battling for the lead. But no, I mean, that was absolutely brilliant. As far as I'm aware, at the point of doing commentary, I don't think there's been any reports. So it's an unconfirmed Jason is the champion, but I am going to say that Jason is the champion. Because I want to say just how, it may sound a bit stupid this, but just how proud I am of Jason and how he has raced in this championship. He's found another level compared to previous racing, previous champions. Raced with him for a long time now. I've never seen him race like that. I've never had a battle with Jason like that before. So absolutely brilliant from him, and I couldn't be happier for him that he's won the championship. Obviously, would I want Demon R to win it? Yeah, of course I do. We need number 10, but take your hat off to Jason. He has been absolutely brilliant, and I think there's more to come.
Yeah.
Because when you factor in a championship with high fuel usage and his consistency, although now he's won the championship, his consistency, he's going to be a threat going forward. I mean, you think about how many times in the last few championships, or the last 5-6 championships, where we've said in races, oh, it's the last half of the race, here comes Jason. Well, what if he's there from the start and then he makes a move in the middle of the...
Yeah, because it used to be that he was with the pack or just ahead of the pack. He's kind of the pack leader. To say, some people might disagree with me there, but that's as far as I remember Jason mostly as the leader of the pack. He keeps it just ahead of the pack. But then the second half of his race, something just clicked and off he went. And you would see him catching third place, second place, fourth place. So maybe he's just clicked what's happening in the second half of the race and put it all together, and it's clicking for the whole race now. Whether that's the car suiting him more, or
could be a confidence thing.
Yeah, but going on to next season's car, it's a different car. It's different handling, but with Jason's experience, I wouldn't put him short of maybe getting a second championship.
Well, I mean, he's definitely shown he is more than capable of winning races and now winning a championship. And yeah, the buzz he'll get from that, I mean, I hope he's buzzing from that. It's one of those things. It's
he'll be in bed with his wife going, was a champion.
Yeah. I was going to say something. I was going to say, I'll be demon up. Have this. But no. But yeah, just call me Swedish champ. Actually, yeah, I might have to find out what his champion is Swedish.
I'll tell you, right?
Yeah. But yeah, so absolutely brilliant. As for everybody else in this race today, yeah, absolutely cracking. And I could be wrong. I think we may have seen another level of Bob learning and getting a bit more experience as well. Less errors, I think. I mean, I could be wrong. I'm just going off what I've seen. So well done to Bob. Not that he watches this. You should, Bob. It's quite entertaining sometimes. But yeah, so SRI, Conrad, SGP, Art Power with that battle in the pack. Absolutely. Around food, you can go side by side, but it is so easy to understeer and go wide and nail people. And we didn't really see that a lot. We did see it happen now and again, but I would fully expect to see that around Fuji, because it only takes a fraction of being off your braking point or a temperature change. I mean, that's something that you were talking about, the dirty track. Like, do I think that a dirty track would that be a factor? See, I believe that Gran Turismo have been very, very sneaky and clever with their track physics since at least GT4. In terms of, there's a lot that happens to the tarmac that they just never talked about. Things like, okay, if a cloud comes over, does it change the temperature of the tarmac? And if it does that change how the tyres react to Well, yes, it does. Now, we know that hot tyres or overheating your tyres has an effect, and dirty tyres has an effect. So there's no reason why the track couldn't get dirty. We see the marbles build up, but also when it rains, and this is something obviously I said we mentioned about at some point. When it rains, I mean, I would highly recommend, if anybody hasn't raced on GT in the wet, I would do it for a few different reasons. One, just to see what it's like, to get the difficulties of knowing, okay, when should I pit for tyres and when shouldn't I? But also, so that you can try braking on the racing line and off the racing line. Because there's a big difference, especially on the racing wets and intermediates. And you will, if you've got a decent wheel, you will feel the difference of grip braking off the racing line. So, okay, so I'm trying to think of a corner around Fuji, which would be a good example of it. Okay, turn one, probably the best one I could give an example of. Turn one, absolutely pissing it down. If you brake on the racing line, it's slippery, it's greasy, you're going to struggle to get the car slowed down, you're going to struggle to turn, you may run a bit wide, and then you'll find some grip. If you brake off the racing line, you'll find that you've actually got quite a lot of grip. You'll get the car slowed down, you'll turn in for the corner, and the moment your tyres start going over the racing line, you'll suddenly feel a loss of grip. Then when you've crossed over the racing line, you'll feel the grip come back, and that's when you're not on the racing line anymore. So it's those little nuances like that where you can go, oh, okay, there's more grip there. And if they do that, I wouldn't be surprised if they do have it where if people keep kicking up dirt, it could make a dirty part of the track. Okay, champion in Swedish.
Master.
Master?
Yeah. Mastare.
Oh. Master.
So you know Lada, the car.
Lada the car.
You know, you used to get ladders, the car. They're now.
Oh, Lada, not
ladder.
So you said ladder, like as in like I'm thinking a step ladder.
No, ladder.
Okay, still ladder. Lada. Okay, yeah.
Lada.
Yeah.
In Swedish, that means a barn. Exactly what the car is like.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah. This car today.
It just came up while I was searching Master. What does that mean in Swedish? Svenska aeroplan. Oh, fucking knows. Swedish Aeroplane Corporation.
Yeah. Well, that's what they made planes initially, which is why the Saabs inside, they are more like a cockpit than they are just a driving area. They are made to make you feel a bit more like you're in a fighter plane. It's also why Saab were one of the first to have night mode on the dashboard. Because if you're flying a plane at night, like a fighter plane, you don't want your lights, your dash lights on. They need to be dimmed. Saab was some of the first to have the automatic dimming of the dashboard. I think they called it something like flight mode in the actual car on the dashboard. But there you go. Okay, going to give a little bit of information out regarding the next championship. We're using an Aston Martin. We still do need a name for that championship, but we can confirm the tyres, the tyre wear, and the fuel wear. Let's see. Okay, so I'll mention what tyres we've got, and then Ray can mention the wear rates. Okay, so
you might have to stop me if I mention something I shouldn't, because
I think we'll be all right now. Okay.
Oh, right, I've just seen the message. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so the pit lane cut penalty is going to be on, which means if you cross the pit lane line on entry or exit, you'll get a 3-second penalty, and if you do both, you'll get a 6-second penalty. So yeah, be careful of that. Now, as for the tyres, we are going to be using the racing softs and the racing mediums. Both tyres are a mandatory tyre, which means that during the race at some point every driver has to have used both sets of tyres. Why would we do that, Ray? Why would we make them both mandatory?
They are both mandatory.
Yeah, I'm just asking why. Why is both and not just one?
Because it's a tyre switch.
To enforce the tyre switch, isn't it?
Yeah, so
Yeah, because if one was mandatory, people could just use that one tyre. But because both are mandatory, both tyres have to be used. Alright.
Yep, and if you don't use them, you get a minute
Penalty. Yeah.
penalty.
Which with us will put you to the back. No doubt about it. Even if you're leading, you will be at the back. Okay, so what is the wear rate, and do we have any fuel burn?
So tyre wear rate is times 8. Fuel burn is times 2. So with the fuel, I don't expect you to have to top up your fuel, but I don't know what the longest track is at the minute, so
I do.
is it Le Mans?
Yes, Le Mans will be the longest track.
So I can't. We never really tested how long the fuel would last. To be honest, we tested it after an X amount of time. You still had plenty of fuel, so you should get to the end on most tracks. But
you should
be careful. Just be careful. Just be checking it on Le Mans in case you go down the straight and it goes.
Yeah. That's you missing the corner going over the cones. Well, the interesting thing about the fuel is, because some people may say, well, where's the point of having it on? Well, by having a bit of fuel burn, it means that your car gets lighter throughout the race. So if at the start of the race you might use the soft tyres, they might burn up a little bit quicker with a heavier car. So they may be better with a lighter car. It may work the other way round. It may be that with a heavier car, you'll be faster on the mediums because the extra weight pushing the tyres into the ground. I don't know, I'm just hypothesising. But it does mean that the car weight will change over the course of the race, which will have an effect on how the tyres behave.
Yeah, and weather is set to SO3 closest to midday. Now, SO3, I don't have a clue what it fucking means. SGP did tell me what SO4 was, but I forgot because we ended up going playing Worlds.
Yeah, basically with the weather settings for this particular championship, we want ideal weather settings if possible. So the weather SO3, the S stands for sunny, and 03 is there is like 01, 02, 03, probably 04 and 05, and 03 is the best of the sunny conditions, and it should be closest to midday as well. Now, if there was rain available, then I think it would be R, and then 01, 02, 03, 04. And if you had random weather, it would also be R, I think, but I'm not 100% certain on that. But what we can say is there won't be any rain in this next championship coming up. Could there be rain in the future? I think the answer to that is yes, there could. When? Don't know. But it's definitely on the cards to be tried in one of the championships at some point. should we quickly mention the tracks that are going to be used?
Yeah, we can do it.
Well, I don't know if this is the exact order they're going to be in.
Yeah, but as we know, we have our track. It's a track we do most of our... It's the first track we go to when we test a new car and see how it's at that track. So not in any particular order. So you got your dynamic GTC side. So that I think is going to be one hell of a race, because how well we all know it. So that's going to be a good race to watch out for. And then Bathurst, the mountain. What was the reason for the mountain to get put in?
Well, interesting. I mean, some people will hear Bathurst and they'll go, "Oh God, no!" But the Aston Martin is absolutely phenomenal over the mountain and down the mountain. It has more than enough grip and ability to handle the hills, and it's a good car to drive around now. If there was any other reasons, yes, there is. Yes, the Aston Martin DBR9 was created to be a Le Mans car. It's a endurance car, and Bathurst is a track where endurance races do take place, so that was another factor as well. It doesn't mean that every track on the list is a track that endurance races happen at, but that is a factor for some of the ones that have been picked, and it is part of Bathurst. But let's put it this way, if the Aston Martin couldn't handle the mountain, we would not be going to Bathurst. It's as simple as that.
Yep. Then next on the list, but not in order of where we're going, Fuji short. So that's the one with no chicanes.
Yep.
The one the race today.
Yep.
We commentated on today. And then this next track, our drivers should know pretty well as well. Spa 24 hour and like endurance 24 hours. So it's going to be a different starting line and pit lane exit.
Oh.
You go on this same way, but you come out a different way.
Okay. Yep.
So that's a bit might catch people out, is where we're starting from. So we're going to be starting kind of where the F1 cars started back in the day, is just before going up a Rouge.
Well, it's after the first corner, isn't it?
Yeah. And then the pit lane actually follows, the pit lane exit follows up the side of La Rouge, or whatever you want to call it. So that's going to be an interesting track with the two wee different details that we're racing at. Suzuka, another track we know. Plus it's I think it's more it's going to be more challenging with your tyres, and we kind of know Suzuka well, so and the car seemed to handle pretty well there. It just I think tyre management might come into play there, especially for sector, and then your long right spoon corner. Road Atlanta. Now that is one of the newer tracks that we've not really raced at, and first sector's going to be quite a challenge. Just get on your braking points, your turning points, And once you get over the hill and down in the first sector, there's a left-hand corner. Is it Club Corner or something it's called? I'm not too sure.
It might.
I know. I remember Steve.
Names of that
Yes, yeah. If you go wide there, you're going to get a penalty, and then you get a couple of medium to long straights and whatnot. So that'll be a good battle. The pit lane entrance is a bit of a challenge, so be careful of that. The exit shouldn't be too bad. Just make sure you hug into the when you're coming out. It kind of goes round. Yeah, hug the right hand side. Now, next track we've got on the list is Watkins Glen Long. Now, I love Watkins Glens. The short one, I think we raced that, and it's great track. You just got to watch the chicane. But the long track, as you guess, as you come round after the chicane, there's supposed to be a long right-hand corner, but then it doesn't follow the short track. It takes it onto another truck, and it gets a wee bit tricky there because there's a couple of 90-degree bend turns, and it gets a wee bit tricky there. So I'll be one to watch for your tyres, your braking, but I'm sure it'll do for great racing. Extracts are taking a wee bit long and giving a wee bit more info on the track. Brands Hatch. Now, did we have? We didn't have Steve F1 when we tested this track, did we? I think it was the three of us that tested this track and went.
I mean, Steve F1 did not put forward Brands Hatch, but I'm happy to race these. These cars are good around Brands Hatch, but also, I think I can have him at Brands Hatch in this car.
Jason could have him, I could have him, Gary.
I mean, that's a good point.
Could have him, Gary could have him.
Okay, let me tell you, any of us could have him. I think I could beat him. No, I think I could win. I'll use the correct term, because all of us could beat him, just pummel him into the gravel. But no, I mean, Steve F1 is.
You wonder why he doesn't get a date. His heat's that big. Brands Hatch. Going to twisty, turny, a wee bit of tyre management maybe going on there, but it should lead to good racing. Most of the drivers should know it. And then the last track, but the last track on the list, not in order, but Le Mans, which the car was built for, and it's got the chicanes this time, yeah?
Yep, it will
He's
have
not
the
put
chicanes.
that in. He never put that in the message. He needs to put it in a message because I can't remember 10 tracks. Is it 9 tracks?
It's
Sorry.
9 tracks, yeah. You're trying to remember another one. But yeah, like I say, this car was made for that track. And it is, again, it's good around that track. I mean, we talked about the Aston Martin a few weeks ago in terms of put the Aston Martin up against some of the other Group 3 cars and it doesn't seem to be able to compete. But you get rid of those other cars, the Aston Martin is amazing. And I tell you what, actually, I mean, we also talked about we wanted to pick a car that gave a bit of a wow factor, right? And there was something that actually happened when a few of the drivers gave the car a go, and one driver drove the car for the first time and literally got about 3 corners in, and he just went. He didn't do that. Sorry, that was me. He literally went, "Wow, this car's amazing. It sounds amazing." And literally, the response that driver get, it made my bollocks tingle a little bit, because it was like, "That's what we want." That was what we want from the drivers, to drive the car and go, "Fucking hell, this has got something to bat in this car," and it has. And although some people may not like some of the tracks on this list, honest to God, if the car wasn't good around them, we wouldn't take the car there, because one of the big things we want from this next championship is to get everybody falling in love with racing and the game and the cars, and we wouldn't pick tracks that the car couldn't handle. I will give a little bit of information regarding the tyres. Now, we didn't do like hundreds of hours of testing on the tyres or anything like that. Obviously, over the last few months, we have been doing a lot of Group 3 races with tyre wear on, and that has and we've been using all different sorts of cars, and that has gave us an idea of, okay, when we come to do a tyre test, we know what sort of ballpark we're doing. So we went to Suzuka, which is the most punishing track on the tyres, like you said, Ray, and we did do some stints to see how the tyres survived, because what we wanted basically was for the soft tyre at Suzuka to probably do about 10 minutes. So if it can just about do 10 minutes at Suzuka, then at somewhere where it's not as punishing, it may be able to do 13, 14 minutes. So that could put you into a 2-stop strategy, maybe a 1-stop, switching, but probably a 2-stop strategy. Now, one of the things that we did find on the tyre wear setting that we've got is that actually you can keep going on the tyres once the tyre wear is all gone. But the lap time isn't there. So I'm trying to think.
And then you have to drive it different to go round the corners, because you don't want to be braking while you don't want any what's the word I'm looking for? Trail braking round the corners, because the tyres, when they're dead, won't like it. You'd have to have your braking done before the corner, and then you're going to have to watch how you get on the accelerator coming out the corner.
Well, you can still drive them, but I think, off the top of my head, I think the lap time difference from when you had a bit of tyre left to there being red on the tyres, I think it was about 4 or 5 seconds a lap. But you could keep going if you want, but you're going to lose lap time. So it's not like it was you hit a cliff and you're just spinning around.
No.
But I suppose what we should say, or one thing I would say is, if you have a massive high-speed spin, your tyres are not going to like it at all. You are, as Ray said, you are going to have to do a little bit of tyre management. You are going to have to look after the tyres a little bit, but you can lean on them. You can race them. I don't want you to think that there isn't any grip for them. There is, but Jimmy might need to swap his rear tyres a few times if he's sideways everywhere.
Jimmy sideways, yeah.
Yeah. But then, to be fair, if you get in this car sideways, fair play. But yeah, okay, so hopefully we haven't scared everybody off with that information. Was there anything else that we wanted to talk about before that? I'm not so sure, other than to say we are going to be having 2 Thursdays off before the next championship starts. I have just lost some information, but go on.
Yeah, we will have them off, but I'm sure there possibly will be lobbies open, whether that's open lobbies, which we've been doing to try and get a couple more drivers. We have a couple that we've been keeping an eye on, and we've had quite a few. Every time we open the lobbies, we have quite a few regulars that have been coming in, but some of them just don't want to do league driving. They're happy just to come in the open lobby and
laugh,
race around and whatnot. So probably I don't know, speak to SGP and other admins and see if it will be open lobbies or whatnot.
We will get some lobbies done at some point when, obviously, we'll find out. But because one thing to remember as well is one of the reasons we have the couple of weeks between championships is to give us admins a break. Because as much as we might not let you know, we need to get some secret practice for the next championship. So one thing I was going to say.
It's not that, because I need to get my YouTube and the YouTube channel getting up and going.
Okay, this commentary obviously has gone on for a while. It's the last video of the championship, and we always do tend to have a bit of a waffle. I've just remembered 2 stories I need to tell, all right? But I'll get to those in a moment. If anybody is watching this or listening to this and thinking, I want to get involved in a league on Gran Turismo, check out our Facebook page, Dynamic GT League. Come and join us on a Monday for the practice lobbies. There may not be a practice lobby this coming Monday. Well, let's put it this way, there won't be this coming Monday, I don't think. But come and join us in the lobbies on Mondays for practices, okay? That's the best place that we can judge you in the car, and we can perhaps help you about certain things going forward. Because there's a couple of things that you would need to know. One is our rules. Now, there is a video. We have a video rule book, and people need to be aware of that because it talks about rules of engagement and different things like that. And you need to be aware of that before you hit the racetrack proper with us. But yeah, come and join us in the practice. It is effectively open to anybody that, as long as they are in the right car and they drive properly in the practice sessions. But that's the best way to get involved. Drop us a message on the Facebook page and we can get you in. And even if you're not interested in league racing, but you want somewhere with a group of people where you can just go and have a few races, there's no reason why you can't come and join us for those as well. You never know, you might end up getting addicted. Okay, 2 stories to say. During the race today, I mentioned about hope there isn't any road rage at turn 1. Reason I mentioned that is because today I suffered a little bit of road rage. I had some numpty, right? 2 lanes, one on the left, one on the right. I'm in the lane on the right. The lane on the left goes up to traffic lights and is for left turn only. The lane on the right goes up to the same traffic lights but splits into 2 lanes, right? So the right lane becomes the middle lane and you have an extra right lane. I am in a queue of traffic in the right lane that is the middle lane, and some knobhead comes up the left hand side and turns right. Now I'm fucking losing it, right? I'm giving it, look at this bloody knobhead. And mother is in the car next to me going, oh Davey, keep calm. And I didn't. So I ended up pulling up alongside this guy in a part of the road that I shouldn't, beeping me horn, shouting at him. And there's the mother giving it, David, behave yourself, just calm down, let it go. And then she starts giving him the finger below the dashboard. So it's like, below the dashboard. So out of sight, she's telling me to behave and be calm, and then like below the dashboard where no one can see, she's giving him the middle finger. I was like, all right, mother, I'll behave then. Okay, the other story I wanted to mention was that last night, after the race that we've just watched, I had the most epic game of worms, 3 games of worms, won 3 games of worms in a row, didn't kill any of my own worms. I was even confident enough after the second win to go, I'll take you on with 4 worms, I'll still beat you, and I did. However, just before the start of game 3, I went to my kitchen to put my curry from a plastic tub into a glass dish to put into the oven, which I did. I put the plastic tub in the sink and turned the tap on. Turned around, put the glass dish in the oven, grabbed a beer out the fridge and went and sat down and conquered my game of worms. About 25-30 minutes later, victorious, We're all saying goodnight. I take off my headset and go, the fuck is that noise? As I jump out of my chair and see that my hot water tap is still running, and in the sink was the plastic tub that I had put in there, but also another round one, which had decided to block up the plug, which filled the sink to the brim and beyond. The water was flowing in so quickly from the tap that the overflow exit was being overrun. My kitchen floor was covered in water. My kitchen tops were covered in water. My kettle, my toaster were all soaked underneath. My cupboard under my sink was soaked, and everything within it pretty much destroyed. So although I was victorious on worms, I think overall I lost. Fucking towns. And now, Ray, I have one question to end this championship with you. What do you call a noisy key?
Fuck, it's got something to do with music. I don't know.
Donkey!
Oh, for God's sake. And on that note, we'll end it here.
Yeah, thank you for doing this on commentary, Ray.
You're welcome.
Right, folks, let's go and check out the confirmed race result and the championship standings. And I'll go and start building a star for Jason to put together on his next car, because he is now the first ever Swedish DGT champion. Sorry, DGT Mäster, or whatever it was.
Mister.
Mäster. I went for it. Alright, cheers, Ray. See you in a bit.
Alright.
Bye.
Bye.
Then of the race result, Jason taking the victory, the maximum 20 points, had a Demon R in second place, Art Powell third. Conrad did get bumped up into fourth place by Bob, who snuck through to steal fifth, ahead of SRI in sixth and SGP in seventh. Right, let's have a look then at the confirmed championship standings. Jason is confirmed then as champion. Congratulations to him, 157 points and a whopping 20-point gap over Demon R in second place. SGP in third on 118 points. And then we've got Steve F1 in fourth on 105. Conrad in fifth place scores 96 points. Now, not many people will know this, but 96 happens to be a relevant number for Conrad. So I suppose the mythical of us, or the believers of us, would say that whatever happened in this championship, Connor, was meant to happen. So you'd end up with that number. Okay. Now we're into a slightly interesting situation, because we've got Art Pal, Rich Blues and Bob all tied for sixth place on 64 points each. And interestingly, I figured, well, which order should we put them in? And I went off with, who missed the most races? Well, Bob missed 3, Rich missed 2, and Art Pal missed 2. And then I was like, okay, so maybe I should do it on who had the better single result out of Art Pal and Rich Blues, and it was Art Pal getting third place today. So he gets 6th, ahead of Rich Blues, who gets 6th, and ahead of Bob, who gets 6th. Jimmy was only 3 points behind them in the end. If it had been there for a couple more races, what could have been? But 9th place for him, 61 points, and he's 1 ahead of SRI, who jumps up to 10th, who is now 1 ahead of Formula Gary in 11th on 59 points. Twilight drops down to 12th place on 55 points, and David Harp in 13th on 19 points, with Bunsell in 14th on 10 points. Well, it's been an interesting championship, that's for certain. Some unusual settings, a couple of changes of settings, but for anyone that doesn't know, one of the reasons for running this particular championship the way that it was a back-to-back test in comparison to the previous championship. And the first two championships on GT7 for the Dynamic GT League was always a case of let's test a couple of things so that we can see what we may want to do going forward. So although they have been Gold Star championships and Jason is a fully deserving champion, now the real racing gets stars. Well, I say now, I mean now in a couple of weeks time, because we are going to have a 2-week break. 2 Thursdays, that's when we race, with not racing, and so 2 Sundays without any race videos, and then we're back at it in the Aston Martin. Which, I mean, me and Ray talked about it a little earlier on. Given the tracks and the car that we're using and the settings, it could be anybody's championship. I just hope that everybody enjoys driving that car, and everybody can cope with the sound of it. Right, that's enough waffle from me. You've had to put up with it for 9 weeks straight. So yeah, you get a break as much as we do. But I would like to say thank you everybody for watching, listening, liking, subscribing, sharing, and for all of the drivers that get involved, and also to all of the admins for putting together everything that they do. Right, that's it. Time to go. Have a good one, everybody, and we'll see you all again soon.